Hope that you guys are liking the vibe of it all. All right. But we're about to get into these messages. Number one, I hope you've been having a great day. Number two, I hope that you're ready for these messages. Number three, I need you to share this live with one other person. Can you do that? Thank you very much. All right, let's get into it. So today we're going to be tapping in for general messages. At the end, I'm going to do a couple specific messages for each element. Okay, so we're going to do a nice little bit of general for everybody, and then we're going to get into fire sign messages, earth sign messages, air sign messages, and water sign messages. Okay, so we're going to get everybody. Everybody's going to get some love today, okay? But again, we're going to start off with a general and kind of just see where the overall energy is. Now, yesterday, we had a really good live, a really good live. If you didn't see the live, you can always watch them back on YouTube, okay? At PocaSPEAKS. Can somebody put my YouTube in the comments? That would be awesome so I can pin it. But you can always watch it back on YouTube. If you missed something, if you came in halfway, if you only got a little bit, whatever, okay? Just know you don't have to be left in the dark, all right? But make sure that you follow and make sure that you turn on your notifications, though, so that you can watch live, okay? Because it's better when it's live, all right? All right, so let's get into these messages. Thank you, babe. And see what's going on. I didn't do any, like, little reading to try to get, like, to try to get some information. I was like, let's just tap in when we get on there, and it's just going to be what it's going to be, okay? If it is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Most of y'all been here before. But this is a new page. We're growing this page. So definitely make sure that, you guys know that I'm going live from here for a little while. And I'll be, using this page for my lives from here on out. Okay? So make sure the notifications is on. So when the girl is live, okay? Also, like I said on the live yesterday, I will also be going live on Sundays now as well for a couple of hours. I know a lot of you guys work during the week, so sometimes it's a little difficult for you to tap in live. So I'll be trying to go live a little later in the day to catch y'all on the way home, at least when you get in your car, you know what I'm saying? So you can expect me to go live between 3 and 7 every day except Saturday. Okay? That's just for future reference. So that's that on that. Okay? Yes, put on that Bluetooth and listen to me while you go home. Okay, drive safely too, though. Don't be trying to look at me. Just listen. You know what I'm saying? You can tap that screen, though. All right, so let's get into these messages. Nothing happened to my channel, babe. Nothing happened to my channel. We're here. Okay. Let's get into it and see what is going on for the collective. Remember to keep an open mind. Everything is not going to resonate for you immediately or at all, and that's okay. These are general messages. If you need to book a personal, you can go to my website. If anybody knows my website, can you put that in the comments for me, please? But yeah, you can book personals and other services on my website if certain things do or don't resonate, okay? But let's tap in and see what the collective needs to know right now. That's so crazy because this is what I was going to title this video. There is another awakening happening right now for a lot of you guys. And awakening is the first card to come out, which is just like, duh. And I was going to title this video another spiritual awakening, but I didn't. But that's okay, because Spirit said, don't worry about it. We're going to get to the point. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. A lot of y'all are going through another spiritual awakening. A lot of times when people hear spiritual awakening, y'all think like it's a one and done. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get into, or once you have your first awakening, that's it. And you know, you're just along for the ride. But no, we have several different, let me put my phone do not disturb. We have several different awakenings that we go through. Sometimes it's collective, meaning not only just you, but also, you know, those who are tapped in, tuned in as well. And then sometimes it is a personal thing, right? I feel like this is like a mixture of both, okay? I feel like overall, on a general scale, we are going through a influx of energy, okay? There is a level of awakening that's happening right now, which is why a lot of y'all are taking time to be by yourself. If you've been called to spend more time alone, if you've been called to tune and tap in more with you, okay, and not be so, you know, amongst the crowd. I feel like a lot of y'all have been more antisocial, especially coming out of 2024 anyway. But I feel like more now than ever, a lot of you guys are embracing alone time. Okay, if anything, you probably prefer alone time a little bit more now than maybe you have in the past. Okay, and I feel like that's because certain things are happening to you guys on different levels. Okay, now with that being said, I also feel like this is not just spiritual. This is also a physical type of thing. So some of your bodies could be changing, especially for my women hormonally. Okay, that time of the month could be a little different than it has been before. I also feel like some of you guys may be purging. I was just talking to a friend earlier about purging. So maybe your skin could be purging. Maybe you're getting like random pimples and bumps and like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, I know that I wash my face. I know that, you know, I usually have a really good skincare routine or whatever. And it's just like your body's purging. Some of you guys could have also had this quote unquote bug that was going around. You know, stomach aches, headaches, especially tension in the head. You know how you get like tension headaches and it's like the parameter of your head. Lots of ear ringing, insomnia, real bad insomnia. Not being able to sleep, not being able to eat. Okay, not really craving the things that you normally would crave or eating the things that you normally would eat. All of those are ascension signs. I also feel like a lot of you guys are having a change of heart when it comes to what you want to pursue, what you want to do with your life. A lot of y'all are moving in different directions. Or finally giving yourself the permission to go for whatever it is that you really want to do. We kind of talked about that yesterday. So that part particularly is piggybacking off of what we talked about yesterday. But a lot of career changes as well, or a lot of new ideas when it comes to how you can approach career or how you can approach even employment. Okay, some of y'all may have been working in a certain area. So let's say, for example, you've always done administrative work and now all of a sudden you want to go to school to be a doctor or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of changes are happening. And all of this is because, again, this influx of energy. Now, we've talked about the Schumann scale over here a couple of times. If you don't know what the Schumann scale is, it is basically a scale that measures the energy or the vibration of Earth for the most part, right? And depending on what's going on with that scale and the measurements, it affects us differently, right? It can have certain effects on us as a collective, and then of course certain effects on us personally, okay? I feel like it's a lot of both happening, all right? There's individual things that are happening, individual transformative things that are happening. for the most part, but then there's also a collective overtone, if that makes sense, okay? With this also, kind of like we talked about before yesterday, and I think about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week before Christmas or whatever, a lot of you guys are moving in a different direction, away from the traditional structure of your family or bloodline. So a lot of y'all are making like huge transitions right now, where maybe your family has a history of moving in a certain direction or doing certain things or just being of a certain energy. And a lot of y'all have been making a lot of changes, especially when it comes to parenting and personal relationships, okay? If you have children, I feel like a lot of y'all are parenting different, or you're noticing things about your childhood that you were close to repeating, okay? And you're kind of like cleaning that up, okay? Noticing, you know what I'm saying, sometimes when you try to avoid something so, diligently, you kind of end up recreating it in a way, right? And I feel like some of y'all have been noticing that. It's like, I don't want to be my mom, but then you accidentally started to kind of be your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like in a weird way. Or I don't want to be my father, but then you kind of coincidentally in certain ways have been kind of being like your father. Okay, take it how it resonates. But I definitely feel like there's some aha moments that are coming when it comes to the way that you're parenting, the way that you are building relationship with your children, the way that you're nurturing not only the relationship with your children, but also the way that you are parenting yourself. I feel like a lot of you guys are in this space where you're realizing that the parents that you needed, you may never have. So now you're in this place where you're kind of doing it for yourself, right? If you, have been in this place where you've been wanting love or attention or validation or support from a parent, you're kind of getting out of that space and more so showing up for yourself in those types of ways, okay? Which is super dope and super necessary, especially now as we are getting more into this new energy. Don't be afraid to do new things, especially when it comes to your family dynamic. I see some like new family traditions or something happening as well for some of you guys, maybe creating family traditions. I seen a video on TikTok a couple days ago talking about creating new holidays. Okay, so some of y'all could be like on that type of time too, like making some type of new holiday for you and your children, or for your immediate family or those who you're close to. Even if you don't have children of your own per se, this could also be with like you and your best friend and their children or something along those lines. The people who you have some type of close proximity to and some type of close relationship to. I also feel like a lot of the transitions or upgrades that are happening are definitely happening in the dream realm. Every live that I do, I cannot escape talking about the dream realm. So please pay attention to your dreams. Some of y'all been having some weird dreams. They've been super vivid. They've been super clear. Some of you guys could be remembering dreams when maybe normally you're not the type to remember your dreams. But now you're starting to remember a lot of them or remember more details than normal. All of that is for a reason, okay? Also, if you have been dreaming about like past loved ones and they have been talking to you, or they've been in the dream in some way trying to give you some type of message or something along those lines, that could be another thing as well, okay? Definitely make sure that you're writing down whatever parts of the dream you do remember. And remember that everything won't make sense in the moment all the time. Sometimes time is needed for things to come together and for you to for it to click, okay? Let's see. That's also significant. I keep hearing that song by Jaheim, I think it is, Put That Woman First. There's something significant about putting yourself first. People, really don't like the word selfish, but I don't see it in a negative light. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's okay to be a little selfish sometimes. And I feel like this is your year to be a little selfish. Not saying that you only care about yourself and everybody else is inferior to you and, whatever. But selfish in the sense where you prioritize what you want. You know what I'm saying? You're not putting other people's needs and wants and dreams and requirements and all that before your own. Showing up for you first, and then if you have some left over, you can give it. That type of thing. Self-preservation, okay? We always talk about how, like you can be on the airplane, and the first thing that they tell you when you're on the airplane is, hey, if something happened and those masks drop from the ceiling, put it on your face first. And then you can help your neighbor or your child or your boyfriend or girlfriend or your mama or your daddy or your cousin or whoever is with you, right? You don't put it on them first, because I can't help nobody if I'm gasping for air. If I can barely catch my breath, if I can barely stand on my own 10, how am I going to help you? If I can't even support myself, what good am I to you? I'm no good to you. There's nothing that I can really do to assist you. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the energy. It's like, do for you first. And then if there's something left, then you can help others. If there ain't nothing left, then there ain't nothing left. Okay? Don't run yourself dry trying to show up for other people. We're not doing that. Okay? All right, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand behind you. You are very supported. Extremely supported. Extremely supported. Extremely supported. Extremely supported. This is why it's going to be key to pay attention to your intuition this year, because there's a lot of help coming from the spiritual realm. Okay, I feel like this year we're going to be able to feel the effects of the spiritual realm a lot more than we have. I feel like it's going to be a lot more sensitive. It could already be a lot more sensitive for a lot of y'all. Things are already a lot more delicate when it comes to what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you pick up on, okay? Especially when it comes to reading people and situations. I feel like a lot of y'all are starting to become experts in some type of ways, when it comes to reading people and reading situations, okay? Knowing where to give your energy and knowing when to be more reserved, okay? Not just being all open to everybody and anything, but being, able to kind of read the room and read the energy and read the person first, okay? And then getting more into making a decision, whether that's somebody that is for you, that's a situation that is for you, that's a job that's for you, that's a career that's for you, that's an opportunity, whatever it is, okay? I feel like your ability to see it a little bit more clearly before you get all the way into it is changing, okay? And I really like that, okay? This is why I kept telling y'all intuition is going to be very, 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 very important this year. Very, okay? Don't ignore it. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if you can't really put your finger on why you feel how you feel, it doesn't matter, okay? That will reveal itself later on, and you have to be secure in knowing that the answer will come, okay? Okay, be a little patient. The answer's going to come. It may not come when you want it or in the way that you want it, but you will get clarity, okay? Clarity will come, all right? The original light worker, All right. Like I said, I really feel like a lot of y'all are stepping into a new energy. I feel like your energy is becoming a lot more free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like y'all running out of fucks to give, and I like that for y'all. Because being too tight in the ass and procrastinating and doubting yourself and scary, and that hasn't really been serving you. If anything, it's caused you to be stagnant in your life. It's caused certain things in your life to not progress in the way that they should be, in the way that they could, right? So I feel like the less fucks you give, the more you actually receive, okay? And this pertains to everything. Relationships, jobs, careers, personal life. It doesn't matter. And when I say, not really giving a fuck, I don't necessarily mean you don't care about nothing. I just mean that you aren't limiting yourself, to certain ideologies or beliefs or perspectives or outlooks. You're not allowing the way that others may view you or look at you or feel about you. You're not allowing those types of things to bother you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can not agree with what I'm doing, or you can agree. Either way, I'm going to do it if I feel led to do it. You know what I'm saying? Again, going back to intuition, going back to trusting yourself, going back to knowing who you are and building that relationship with you. There's a lot of ancestral energy here, for sure. 100%, 100,000%. I feel like cats are going to be significant as confirmation. Elephants can also be significant as confirmation. And I've been seeing a lot of things pertaining to elephants lately. We know elephants move in wisdom and operate in wisdom, and are very, very intelligent and also have a great memory. So there's something about your memory that may be useful during this time, okay? Whether that's remembering who you are, whether that is, for some of you guys, childhood memories that help you kind of tap into who you are even more. I feel like things from childhood, the good things, are going to start coming to the surface. Because sometimes when we think about our childhood, it's always like a negative overtone based on the experiences that we've had, based on the things that we've went through, based on the, problems and issues and whatever, right? But I feel like a lot of the positivity from your childhood is about to be exposed, especially when it comes to self-identity. I feel like a lot of you guys left your true identity in your childhood, and you've been kind of living this life based on what your trauma kind of made you think you are, or what your trauma convinced you that you are, or who your trauma convinced you that you are. And it's like, it's almost like, the first card being awakening. It's like waking up and realizing like, oh shit, I'm so much more than just these specific situations. I'm so much more than just some of the encounters that I've had, or some of the traumas that I've experienced. There's more to me than just the gray skies, right? And the clouds and the rain, okay? There's also something here significant with mountains. Some of y'all could be traveling to the mountains. Some of y'all could live near mountains, in mountains, okay? Or this could just be like finally feeling like you've gotten to the top of a certain mountain in your life energetically. I've been seeing a lot of videos about Mount Everest as well. I don't know if that can have some significance to you, but I know Mount Everest is one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult mountains to climb. A lot of people don't make it to the top, to the point where certain people that didn't make it kind of become like landmarks. It's like, oh, when you see the man dead in the orange coat, you've made it to this level of the mountain, like to that effect. And I feel like, metaphorically speaking, that's how a lot of y'all lives have looked. There could have been people in y'all family dynamics specifically who may have tried to accomplish certain things or just get to a certain level in their life, and they weren't able to. And sometimes, the people before you can kind of stunt your growth with the things that they have experienced, because they can kind of give you like this biased opinion, in regards to how you go forward, and, what you should and shouldn't do based on their failures or based on the things that they weren't able to accomplish. So I feel like a lot of you guys are kind of walking past a lot of them dead bodies, metaphorically speaking. You know what I'm saying? And you continuing on with your, your journey to the things that you want, to the things that you deserve, to the things that you've been manifesting. Okay? Now, understand that this can bring out the worst in people. Being able to see somebody accomplish something that maybe you tried, or just seeing somebody get a little bit further in life than maybe you did, can sometimes bring out some nasty energy. Okay? So be very, very cautious of who you allow in your ear. Be very cautious of where you go with your energy and who you are around with this new energy. If it's not anybody who is encouraging, if it's not anybody who is understanding and believes in you, and, can see, they don't have to be able to see the vision, but they can still support you in seeing the vision. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have to see and understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Okay? Because it's not their vision to see. But they also shouldn't be tearing you down because of that fact. You know what I'm saying? So it's like finding people, or only entertaining people who can be supportive during this time, especially if you are in a time of creation, especially if you're in a time of developing something new, or even becoming somebody new, walking into a new energy, becoming a new person, things of that nature, developing past where you are. You need to have a certain level of support around you. And if that means until you find that support, you kind of be to yourself, then it is what it is. If that means until you find the support that you are a little selfish with your time and your energy, then it is what it is. Okay? Everybody's not going to like it, but it's not for everybody to like. It's for you to have what you need in order to continue on with your process. Period. Okay? Thank you. Let's see what else is here. Yeah, exactly. Where are you being called to journey to? So where is your intuition calling you to go? That's where you need to be focused at right now. That's what you need to be thinking about right now. Where do I intuitively feel guided to go? You know what I'm saying? What in my life am I being drawn to? What, within my process, feels organic, feels unique, feels like I'm supposed to be here. If it's not anything that feels like that, you shouldn't be doing it. Again, like we talked about yesterday, there's nothing wrong with having like a 9-to-5 type of thing, or something consistent, if we're talking about career, to get you from point A to point B. But you also need to be prioritizing what your passions are. Because a lot of y'all are being called towards your passion. It's time for you to live the life that you've been talking about. And it requires you to tap into those gifts that you have been ignoring, or that you haven't been using. Okay? They say if you don't use it, you lose it. And what the hell is the point of losing it? Especially for some of you guys to be extremely gifted in certain areas, and especially for you to have certain callings on your life and certain things that you can be doing, should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, There's no reason why you can't have certain levels of success. There's no reason why you can't live a certain type of lifestyle. There's no reason why, you aren't building further, higher than the generations that came before you. There's no reason for that. All right, so it's your responsibility to develop yourself. It's your responsibility to push yourself, okay? And don't expect for everybody to support you either. We talked about that yesterday as well. Everybody's not going to be in your corner. Everybody's not going to think that it's a great idea for you to do whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to like and share and comment and subscribe and all of these other things. They're just not, okay? So that's not what it's about. It's about, how do you feel when you're going and doing whatever you're passionate about? How does that make you feel? If it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel great, then you need to keep on with it, okay? And don't let it be money motivated. We talk about that a lot. Don't let it be money motivated, okay? Go for your passions. Your gift will make room for you. Whatever you're gifted in, it will make room for you. Whatever your talents are, they will make room for you. So that means you don't have to push the envelope. You don't have to prioritize finances and be one-track minded. No, you can just flow freely in whatever you feel guided toward, and understand that you will be provided for in those areas. You will have the things that you need because you're doing what you're supposed to do, right? It's like divine alignment. When you align with who you are and you align with what you're supposed to be doing in life, everything tends to move a lot more freely for you. Everything tends to come together a lot better, all right? We got beauty and devotion, the mystic and the teacher, all right? Don't be afraid to learn either. Some of you guys could be sent some type of mentor, okay? Some of you guys could get, some of y'all can get some type of assistance, whether it comes in the form of like a teacher or a mentor or someone who just has more information, more knowledge than you. I'm hearing like data analysis. Someone could be giving you tips, something to kind of help you with the process. And it may not and probably won't be anybody that you already have relationship with or connection with. This could be, something coming that you probably don't see, and you just need to be open. You know what I'm saying? If the information is worth taking it, take the information. Okay? Take the information. Don't look at the messenger, take the message. It can be a stranger on the street, but if they're giving you something that is valuable, if they're giving you something that actually helps, that actually hits home, take the message. Take from it whatever you need and leave the rest. Even if that's leaving the person, leave the rest. But get that message, get that information so that you can do whatever you need to do with it. You can have the information you need, okay? I also feel like this is going to be a year where a lot of you guys get more fulfilling relationships in your life. And I'm not just talking about love. I'm also talking about friends, loved ones, family, quote unquote, because I don't believe that family is, your relatives. I feel like your relatives are your relatives, but family is people that you choose to be a part of your life. And I feel like a lot of your relationships are also going to develop more like-minded people, for sure. Could be coming into a lot of you guys' lives at this point. People that you can connect with on a deeper level, people that kind of understand what you're going through, and, especially from a spiritual standpoint or just from a higher level of knowledge and intellect, okay? This is definitely not a time to necessarily get picky in who you think should be in your life. And what I mean by that is sometimes opposites attract. Sometimes the people that you least expect have the best impact on your life, right? Sometimes, the people who really become someone who means a lot to you, or the people who really become someone who influences your life a lot, are usually people that you never would have chosen yourself with the knowledge that you have or the knowledge that you had. Okay? So just be open. Be open. Keep your standards intact. Okay? It's not an open door policy where you just let anybody in. That's not what I'm saying. But be open in the idea that sometimes the best gifts come in the weirdest wrapping paper. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the best gifts come in a brown paper bag. Okay? You just never know. You never know how things can unfold, but allow your intuition to guide you. If it feels right, it feels right. If it feels good, it feels good. If it don't, it don't. You know what I'm saying? And just go with that. Again, it doesn't always have to make sense in the moment. Okay? Sometimes things develop a little later. But if it feels like it makes sense and it feels something organic is, there's something organic about it, go for it. Alright? Okay. Last card from this deck. It's happening for you and not to you. Alright? So a lot of things are happening on your behalf. Expect the unexpected this entire year. I've been telling y'all that since last year, honestly. We've been tuned in since like the summer of last year, honestly. We've been talking about this for a while. Expect the unexpected. Don't get into this, one-trick pony type of mentality where you think things can only happen a certain type of way, go a certain type of way, look a certain type of way, a certain type of plan, and it has to look like this exactly, and it has to be this exact color, and it has to come in this type of package. Expect the unexpected. There's going to be a lot of amazing things, like I said before, wrapped in very interesting wrapping paper. Okay, it's going to be a lot of things that, like a jack-in-the-box type of energy, you don't really expect it until, boom, it's in your face. Okay? Even when it comes to people leaving your life, some of you guys went through that in 2024 and you kind of did a clean sweep. Hey, everybody joining. You kind of did like a clean sweep in 2024 where you started to let go of people, places, and things that no longer serves you, and, grieve those relationships, because it is important to grieve those relationships. It don't feel good to lose people. It doesn't feel good. And I don't even like saying lose, because you didn't lose anything. But redirection doesn't always feel good. I'll say it that way. Getting or gaining a different understanding or a different outlook on a friendship or on a person don't always feel good. It's not always the best thing. Sometimes that shit sucks because you have things in your head a certain type of way. So you expect for things to be a certain type of way. You expect to have been friends with people, way longer than maybe you were supposed to, or you thought you was going to be in specific relationships way longer than you were supposed to, or you thought you were supposed to be on a job way longer than you were supposed to, or whatever, right? There's so many unexpected changes that 2024 brought that may have felt very sucky. You know what I'm saying? The shit didn't feel good all the time. Sometimes you kind of knew, like, okay, I kind of could see that this was coming to an end with certain people. But then also some of those things, it was kind of like, damn, I didn't expect this particular friendship or this particular person or this specific, relationship. Everything wasn't just, black and white. Some things were very, very interesting and very difficult to accept and to understand. So give yourself grace, okay? Remember to give yourself grace. If it didn't happen for you 2024, that will be some of the energy that we're moving into for 2025 for some of you guys. All right? Go with the flow. Go with the flow. If it's exiting your life, it's because it's supposed to. If it's not working for you, it's because it's not supposed to work. Okay? Nothing in 2025 is going to be forced. So if you feel like you're forcing anything, that thing is not for you. There's a difference in putting the work into something versus forcing something. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with being diligent and being hardworking and giving something all you have, right? It's nothing wrong with that. But it is something wrong with trying to force something that is obviously rejecting you or just not supposed to be. Okay? So it's going to be important to really understand that dynamic and make decisions based on that. All right? All right, let's get some chakra energy here before we get into the tarot. Again, share this video with one person. If you're watching, tap that screen. And let's go a little deeper. Let's go a little deeper. I also feel like some of you guys are coming out of a shadow. Either this is a shadow of going back to the family dynamic, whether this is a shadow of like your family or shadow of your parent or sibling, or if it's not a physical person, it could be coming out of the shadow of certain words or certain things that were spoken over you, spoken over your life. You know what I'm saying? X, Y, and Z. No longer limiting yourself to who other people try to convince you that you was. Especially when it comes to mothers. Mothers are so impactful in our lives. And based on what they say and how they nurture us with their words, it can make a world of difference in the way that we show up, the way that we believe in ourselves, the way that we treat ourselves, the way that we trust ourselves, the way that we move forward, okay? So specifically with the Divine Feminine and a lot of y'all families, I feel like the dynamic is shifting where you're not putting so much weight on certain people's opinions. You're not putting so much weight on what other people think you should and should be doing, or how they think your life should or shouldn't go, or whatever. Okay? It's a little cold in here. Put that down. I'm a little chilly. All right. Let's see what else is here. Let's get some chakra energy. Yes, please. Okay, we got grounding. Grounding as the first card. Now, when we're talking about grounding, we're talking about the root chakra, okay? We're talking about your foundation. We're talking about your stability, okay? Now, we talked about yesterday. Thank you, babe. We talked about yesterday about the stability and the foundation of what we're creating for the next 9 years. So we know that we're currently in a 9-year, right? 2025. If you add 2025 up all together, you get the number 9, right? The number 9 holds energy, okay? The energy that it holds is usually talking about ending cycles, preparing for a new, closing out different aspects of your life, completion, okay? So with that being said, this is a year of foundation, okay? What you do in this year counts. The way that you move in this year counts. The energy that you put out in this year counts. It doesn't just count for this year, but it also counts for the next 9 years. Okay, 2026 will begin a whole new cycle, right? We'll get back to a 1 year, so it'll hold the energy of a 1, which is what? New beginnings, new creations, fresh starts, things of that nature, right? So you kind of have like an opportunity to like get the ball rolling a little faster than, you know, someone who would start next year. You have an opportunity to really get some things. Yes, 2025 is a 9-year. Yeah, that's what I said, babe. You have an opportunity to get things done and kind of build a foundation here that you can continuously build off of. So the things that you do here will be very, very influential over your next couple of years, okay? Your next 9 years specifically, right? So it's almost like you got a quote unquote extra year or a head start, so to speak. That's how you should be using this year, like a head start. Like instead of me waiting for the 1 year energy, which is 2026, I'm going to start this year and start doing all of the things that I need to do, building what I need to build from the ground up, right? Getting my footing out there, getting my business out there, getting my brand out there, going to school, learning whatever I need to learn, taking whatever courses I need to take, building whatever relationships, partnerships, collaborations that I need to build, right? Whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you need to be successful, specifically over the next 9 years, this is the time to get started. This is the time to, again, get your footing and create that foundation for you to continuously build off of, okay? Now, with that being said, you have a different advantage because not only are you able to kind of like trial and error things this year. So again, don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to take leaps of faith. Don't be afraid to get out your comfort zone because this is a great time to trial and error. And a lot of y'all be scared of trial and error for whatever reason. I have no idea. I think I think a lot of it goes back to childhood trauma, the way that we were raised, right? Or just how society views quote unquote mistakes, right? But you don't learn if you don't make mistakes. You don't learn if you're not challenged. So don't look at it as a negative thing, like you're horrible and you just shouldn't be doing this anymore just because you made a couple of little mistakes. This is the time to get that wisdom, right? That hands-on wisdom. Because a lot of the things that you'll be learning this year will give you kind of like an inside scoop of what you're going to need moving forward for the next 9 years, right? So whether that's in regards to your relationships, whether that's, and when I say relationships, I don't just mean love, right? Friends, family, co-workers, job, career, whatever, relationships, partnerships, collaborations, all of that, right? Whether that's in regards to your home life, okay? How you are with your children, how you are with yourself, especially how you are with yourself, okay? I feel like a lot of y'all are learning to be more kind to yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, duh, I'm supposed to mess up every now and again, and that's okay. Duh, certain things are going to happen sometimes, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're going after new things. To have an innate expectation that you're just going to go after something new and you're going to ace it every time is absolutely diabolical. And you're kind of setting yourself up for disappointment. Your only expectation should be that everything is happening for your highest good. That's it. That's all. Anything else, you're wasting your time. When you start to want to get specific and like, oh, my expectations that this specific thing is going to happen and these specific things are going to go this specific way, you're setting yourself up for a letdown. And this is why a lot of you guys, instead of feeling inspired, instead of feeling capable, instead of feeling like, okay, now that I've seen what I've done wrong, I can now go and perfect it. Instead of you having that outlook, you're beating yourself up. You're downing yourself. You know what I'm saying? You are not showing yourself the compassion that you need and the understanding that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? So your only expectation is that everything works out for you. That's it. So that when you were thinking that way, even if something technically, quote unquote, goes wrong or you're challenged or you make a mistake, those things are still working out for you. So it's really not a negative. I tell y'all, we don't have L's for losses. We have L's for lessons. So everything has value. It's all based on your perspective and your perception of what's happening, right? Thought creates feeling, feeling creates action. If I'm thinking a certain type of way, I'm going to feel a certain type of way. And if I feel a certain type of way, I'm going to act a certain type of way. Thought creates feeling, feeling creates action. So if I'm thinking negative, I'm going to feel negative. Therefore, I'm going to make negative decisions and choices. Right? Just that quickly. But if I'm thinking positively, right? If I'm more optimistic, if I'm seeing the bigger picture, then I'm going to feel more inspired. I'm going to feel more high vibrational. Therefore, the actions I take will be of a higher vibration. All right? So it creates feeling creates action. If you can remember that, you'll be straight. And y'all know we talk about that a lot over here. Yeah, soul healing. And look at the bottom, divine wisdom. Both dealing with the solar plexus chakra. All right? So, and sacral chakra, I feel like as well. A lot of you guys could also be going through an energetic cleansing. And I think this is what I was about to say before, but a lot of the upgrades that you're experiencing are happening overnight. And this is why a lot of y'all are waking up feeling different. You're waking up with new perspectives. You're waking up with new outlooks. You're waking up with new understandings of different things. You're waking up with new inspiration, right? Because a lot of what's being repaired within you is happening in the dream state. This is why your dreams are going to be very important, okay? Because there is little Easter eggs in those dreams. This is a collective, babe, right now. There's a lot of Easter eggs in those dreams that are going to help you gain some perspective. That's going to help you kind of be able to move forward in reality, right? We know that we don't just dream just to dream. You know what I'm saying? You're not just thinking about yourself being a top secret spy jumping from building to building just for shits and giggles. I mean, it sounds fun, and it probably is fun in the dream, but there's purpose. And your job is to figure out, why the hell am I dreaming about that? Maybe Spirit is trying to tell you to take initiative. Maybe Spirit is trying to tell you to be strong and be resilient. Maybe Spirit is trying to tell you to be more unapologetic or to be more confident, okay? Take it how it resonates. But if you're not breaking those dreams down, again, you don't have to remember everything word for word, bar for bar, because that's just impossible. That's just not going to happen, okay? It just doesn't make sense, right? But what you do remember, you need to write it down. And the more you start writing things down, the more you're going to start retaining things, okay? So for my people who struggle with remembering their dreams, start with writing down the little pieces that you do remember and get consistent with that. The more consistent you are with that, the more you'll start to remember more things, because it's like a muscle. Once you start training it, it's going to be like, oh, okay, I know that she's going to write this down, so let me gather a little bit more, okay? Your brain is adaptable, right? So it's going to be like, oh, when we wake up, we write our dreams down. Okay, cool. So let me try to retain a little bit more when it comes to, when I wake up, so that I'm able to write it out and start to figure out what exactly Spirit is trying to say, okay? Again, sometimes dreams don't make sense for a while. That's why we write them down, okay? Because you may need to go back and kind of look over it and see, you know what I'm saying, if it makes sense or not. Or it can take a couple days. It can take a couple hours. Sometimes you can wake up and know immediately. Sometimes it could take a few weeks. Sometimes it could take a few years. It just really depends on that specific message for that specific dream. And I'll use an example, right? I remember this had to be at least almost 5 years ago now, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something along those lines. I had a dream that I was in my grandmother's basement, and she, for some reason, something happened, some type of scuffle, somebody broke in the house or whatever. They was wearing all black. They had a pew-pew. They aimed it at her head and pulled the trigger, and I woke up, right? And I'm like, what the what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what could that possibly mean? My mind started going to, like, the worst shit ever. I'm just thinking the worst about every damn thing. A year or two later, I got a phone call that my grandmother was now diagnosed with dementia, right? So if you know anything about metaphors, dreams sometimes show up in the form of metaphors. It's not always literal. It doesn't mean that someone's literally going to be unalived, right? But what happened is they aimed it specifically at the spot in her brain that controls memory. And I had to go look it up because I remember where it was aimed at, but it didn't click for me, right? So sometimes things can take a little time. It's not always going to be immediate. But the thing about it is, it's a way almost to prepare you, right? The more you tap in, the more consistent you get with like meditation, breaking certain things down when it comes to dreams and messages, the more you learn how these messages communicate with you, right? You'll learn a pattern. Okay, so it's like for me, every time somebody may pass away in my dream, I know that something may happen to someone else that's a positive thing, right? If somebody, loses teeth in my specific dreams, that's usually a positive thing, right? So you start to learn over time what things mean for you. And this is why it's so important to understand that your journey is your journey. It's nothing wrong with getting information from outside sources and readers and, spiritualists and things of that nature. But build that relationship with yourself so that you're able to establish a baseline for what your journey looks like for you. Okay? Take everything with a grain of salt. There's nothing wrong with listening to the messages, getting the messages, paying for services, things of that nature. But if you don't know yourself, if you don't have a relationship with yourself, somebody can tell you anything. And you just go around believing it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of these readers on here talking about, oh, your ex is coming back and they feel so regretful and they're going to text you and leave a comment down below if you claim this. And that shit don't never happen, okay? Because your ex don't need to come back. You know what I'm saying? You, in your current state of mind, you may feel hurt from that relationship. You may feel like you want it to work out. But is that in your best interest? Maybe not. Maybe not for you. Maybe somebody else's ex is coming back. But maybe yours don't need to come back, right? So you got to know yourself enough to know what's not for you, right? What doesn't resonate for you, what you should not allow into your energy. Because sometimes if you take on a message and you claim something that's not for you, that thing may happen and it will have a negative effect on your life. We have to be very careful with what we accept into our energy. Even with my readings and my services, if it don't resonate, it don't resonate for you. I tell y'all all the time, take what resonates, leave the rest. If it don't apply, let it fly. It's not for you. It's okay. I'd rather you do that than to try to take on some energy that doesn't really fit, but you're just in the compromising position where you just really want a message right now, so you just take it. And now you're attracting that type of energy to you, and it's not for you or for your life. So it doesn't blend with what you have going on. All right? I see a lot of makeovers happening this year as well. Some of y'all are really taking your look, your aesthetic to another level. We've been talking about this as well before the new year. A lot of y'all are moving into a whole different type of aesthetic, a whole new type of aura. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not showing up the same way you used to. You're not you could even be throwing certain people off because they don't expect for you to show up how you're showing up. Or you could be coming off a lot more confident or a lot more sure of yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot less scary. or hesitant or doubtful. Okay? Did y'all cut the heat on? I don't know. I don't hear it. We also have truth coming out as well. All right? Don't bite your tongue this year. And I don't mean be rude. I don't mean be negative. I don't mean attack nobody. You know what I'm saying? But don't bite your tongue when it comes to your truth. Don't bite your tongue when it comes to what you feel, what you see, what you hear, what your intuition is telling you. And not even biting your tongue when it comes to the way that you present yourself. I tell y'all all the time, it's okay to reinvent yourself. If you want to be a different person every day, do that shit. Who is stopping you? Who can tell you that you're wrong? Who can tell you that you shouldn't be doing it? Who can tell you that, you know what I'm saying, however you moving is wrong? Nobody knows. And we upgrade on a daily basis. There are certain changes that we make about ourselves on a daily basis. So if you want to wake up and be a different bitch every day, do that shit. Like, who was going to tell you that you can't? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? If I want to wake up tomorrow and dress like she go, then that's what I'm going to do. And then if I want to wake up the next day and dress like Hello Kitty, then that's what the hell I'm going to do. Who's going to tell me that something's wrong with that? You have to allow yourself to live in your truth and go with the flow of what you feel. The more that you do that, the more comfortable you get in your own skin, and the less you care about the opinions of people. And the less you care about the opinions of people, the more you are able to really solidify who you are and move in alignment. The more you care about other people's opinions and what they're going to think and how they're going to feel if you show up like this or show up like that, the less organic you are. You know what I'm saying? Now you just kind of like walking on eggshells and stepping light. And we don't step light around here. What's the point of waking up and going through an awakening and healing yourself and being the curse breaker of your family and all of these different things just for you to be scary and walk on eggshells? You know what I'm saying? It's like, nobody is fighting a lion to go back into the world to be pussy. Respectfully. Like, nobody's doing that. You know what I'm saying? If I fight a goddamn lion, I'm walking down the street, down the neighborhood, like I am 100 feet tall and 450 solid pounds of muscle. You understand me? And can't nobody tell me a damn thing. And that's kind of like what this year is showing a lot of y'all. Like, you fought to get here. So act like you deserve to be here. You've made it through all of these different things, all of these different experiences. And we're not just talking about when you started your spiritual awakening. We're talking about from a child. Like, a lot of y'all went through things children should never go through. You experienced hardships and heartaches and low vibrational moments and harsh realities since a kid. Okay, and you've done all of this work to maintain your status, to maintain who you are, to still be in your right mind. And then on top of that, you got the nerve to be scary. You got the nerve to not be unapologetic, to not move unapologetically. It's like, how is you cool? You know what I'm saying? Is you all right? Hell nah. Ain't nobody doing all of that to sit back and be pussy. That's crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's like people who come back from the army and, you know, serving overseas. Once you done seen all of that shit over there, you come over here, you're like, man, I ain't scared of shit. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You may be a little bit more paranoid, but you're not fearful. You're not afraid, right? It's like the same thing. You've been going to war for a long time. You've been warring with yourself, with your life, with the people around you, with your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been at war for a long time. The least you could do is walk around like you're 7 feet tall. That's the least you could do. Is be confident. The least you could do is show up for yourself. At the very least. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, what's the point of pulling cards if I'm just so accurate? I just honestly, just as I'm saying that, personal power flies out. Ain't that what we talking about? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Tap into your damn power. I feel like a lot of y'all are going to surprise yourself when you just give yourself permission to go for it. Like, you might shock the fuck out of yourself. Like, damn, did I just do that? Yes, you did. You know what I'm saying? Did I just boss up like that? Yes, you did. Did I just change my life? Yes, you did. Did I just break that generational curse? Hell yeah, you did. Yes. And yes again, you did all that shit. And you still here in your right mind, kicking and screaming. Stronger than ever. Hell yeah. Give yourself the credit. Even when it comes to celebrating little things, or what may seem like little things. I don't even like saying little things. Celebrating things that are happening in your life. You know what I'm saying? If you stop cussing as much as you used to, maybe every other word was a cuss word, and now it's just like every 14 words. Celebrate that shit. Y'all know I love to cuss. You know, doing a little bit better. But celebrate that shit. You know what I'm saying? If you left a relationship that was very hard for you to leave, and you was in this, you know, on this hamster wheel type of cycle with this person, and you finally did what you need to do, and you finally separated from that person, celebrate that shit. Stop waiting for people's permission to celebrate the things happening in your own life. Stop waiting for other people to see it as something big or something monumental. If it's big and monumental to you, celebrate that shit. And if people say you're doing too much, they're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. Okay? It's not that I'm doing too much. You're not doing enough. Because every single thing that happens, I'm going to celebrate it. A lot of y'all don't feel as good as you should feel about your life because you're not celebrating the things that are happening. If you really look at your life and where you are now compared to just this time last year, it's like night and day. Why haven't you done something special for yourself? Why haven't you given yourself that pat on the back? Why haven't you given yourself that extra love and attention and credit and whatever? Why not? What are you waiting for? You know what I'm saying? It can be something small, like taking yourself to get a cookie or some ice cream or something, or getting yourself a balloon or some flowers, or, you know what I'm saying? Order some flowers to your own house and act surprised when you open the door. Like, oh my God, I shouldn't have. Like, what? Celebrate yourself. Because if you're waiting for the world to do it, you'll be waiting forever. You'll be waiting forever. And one thing about the world, they jump on bandwagons. So they're not going to start celebrating you until you start celebrating you. Period. If you go get yourself a balloon and some flowers, people will ask questions. Why you got a balloon and flowers? What happened? Oh, you know, I had a huge moment of clarity in my healing journey, and I really made some great progress, and I'm just celebrating myself. Watch them be like, oh, wow, congratulations. Because you took initiative. You're setting the tone. This is what we do over here. We celebrate. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do over here. We heal, and we walk different, and we live different. You're setting the tone. And those who respect it, those who, you know what I'm saying, can see it, they're going to celebrate too. Whether it's a little congratulations or I'm happy for you or whatever. They're going to go with the flow, because that's what people do. They go with the flow. The world don't fuck with nothing until you show them it's worthy of fucking with it. So why would people fuck with you if you're not showing the world that you should be fucked with? In a good way, in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait for nobody to pull out no goddamn balloons and streamers for you to feel good about yourself. You need to be feeling that shit now. All right? Listening. Okay? Going back to intuition. Listening to that intuition. I'm trying to told you. You better listen to it. You better listen to it. And when we say intuition, sometimes it's not always something that you hear within your head. You know, that little voice in your head. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes it's just an inkling. It's like, And it can be the smallest things. Instead of me making this right turn, I feel the need to make this left. Instead of going the usual way home, I feel the need to take the back roads. It can be the smallest things, right? But the smallest things build character. So the more you start to listen just to the tiniest things, like move that cup off the counter of the table because you might knock that shit over. The more you start listening to little things like that, the more you develop a relationship with your intuition. And you can start to take it more serious, and you start to get more confident when it comes to following it, right? I use this example all the time. If a random ass stranger told you to do something, you probably wouldn't do it. Not because what they're telling you to do may not be good advice, but because you don't know that motherfucker. And if you don't know them, you usually don't trust them. And you usually don't trust their word. Even if it's right, even if it's wrong, even if it's something that you can use, it don't matter. You're usually not going to be that open to trusting it. So same thing with yourself and your intuition. If you don't have a relationship with yourself, if you're not building a relationship with your intuition, you're going to be a lot less likely to trust it. So it takes practice almost. It's almost like, okay, I'm just going to do it and see what happens. Right? I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. If I do follow my intuition and everything goes right, then I know that that's my intuition and I need to listen to it. Right? And if I don't follow it and the things that I felt happen, then still I know that's my intuition and I need to follow it next time. But I always ask this question: when has your intuition never been wrong? When has that little gut feeling, that little inkling, that little thought in the back of your head, when has that thing ever been wrong? That voice in your head, when has it ever been inaccurate? It has the best track record of almost anything on this planet. And every time we don't listen to it, the first thing we say is, damn, I should have listened to my intuition. Or something told me. It's always something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what something is. Something told me to do blah, 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 blah. Something told me to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, you told you. Higher self, intuition told you, and your ass ain't listen. So we know that it has a track record of being credible. We know that. We have way too many examples to show us that it is credible. But for whatever reason, we don't trust it. And the reason is because we have not taken the time to build that relationship with ourselves so that we know ourselves to be trustworthy. Especially if you've been through certain things in your life and you made certain decisions in your past and you ended up in, certain situations that probably wasn't the best for you, it makes you a little less likely to trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you have an outlook like, damn, in the past I did X, Y, and Z and it didn't work out and I thought that was a really good idea and blah, 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 blah. You're going to move forward not really believing in yourself. You're going to move forward not really trusting your own gut because you feel like it didn't work out the first time, or you have a track record of certain things not going the way you wanted them to. But that doesn't mean that was your intuition. That was your fault. You know what I'm saying? Your intuition probably told you not to do half of them damn things that you did anyway. And because you didn't listen, other things happen. Or sometimes, going back to listening, there's so much noise in our environment, whether it's people that we're paying attention to, whether it's relationships that have us distracted, whatever it is, right? There's unnecessary noise going on around us to the point where we can't hear what we need to hear. If I'm putting all my time and energy, this goes back to building that relationship with yourself. And relationships require time. So if I'm putting all my time and energy into other people, places, and things, I have less time for myself. And if I have less time for myself, how am I bonding with me? How am I learning me? How am I able to advance me in my life? I'm not, right? So this is why for a lot of you guys, especially when you start either tapping in initially to your spiritual journey or you start going through another level of awakening, you get into isolation. It's like a natural thing that happens. You naturally start to isolate yourself. You naturally start to kind of cut through a lot of the noise and be more, solo dolo. Because you need to be, so that you can hear. So you can hear you. All right? Last chakra card out, we have is visualization. And I was just talking to one of my clients today about visualization. Mita, I'm sending you a lab. I'm sitting here reading when I get off here. I didn't forget about you. Visualization, right? Being able to see yourself having the things that you want. Some of y'all can't see yourself having the things that you want, and some of y'all don't even really believe that you can have the things that you want. For real. It sounds good to say it out loud, but do you really believe that you can have it? You know what I'm saying? Do you really believe that this is something that can be your reality? That this is something that can happen for you? Are you sure? It's good to say, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to feel weird by being a person to be like, I don't believe I can do this, and that. Some of y'all just gonna lie, fake it and make it. Oh yeah, I know that I'm the next millionaire in my family. I know that I'm gonna have this and I know that I'm gonna have that. Yes, it sounds good. But do you truly believe that it's something that can happen for you? Questions that deserve answers, Hey, Stink. Do you truly believe in your heart of hearts that will be a reality? Not that it may, not as a possibility, not I hope and I dream and I wish upon a star. No, that shit's going to happen. I'm going to make it to whatever next level. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to be successful. I know that it's going to happen. I may not know when. I may not all the time know how. That's not for me to know all the time. You know what I'm saying? I always tell you how to worry about what you're supposed to worry about. And your only worry should be your next steps, not your next 17. And that's where sometimes your belief gets a little shaky, because a lot of y'all are worried about 30 steps ahead when you haven't even made the first. Can you focus on step number 1? 1 foot before the other. Nobody takes 15 steps before they take 1 step. That's not possible. You put 1 foot before the other. That's how you move. That's how you run. That's how you walk. Hell, if you get on all fours, that's how you crawl. 1 before the other. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes belief is about how far you're trying to control things, and not about you knowing that things are going to happen and allowing it to go freely. You know what I'm saying? Allowing it to freely manifest itself the way it's supposed to. Why are you worried about next year and it's this year? Shit like that. Why are you worried about February and we just started January? And society has convinced us that that's what we're supposed to do. Oh yeah, you're supposed to just be worried about June. And we ain't even in damn the 30th of February yet, and you already focused on what's going to happen in June. No. Right? You're creating unnecessary stress. You're trying to control something months ahead, weeks ahead, days ahead, years ahead, and that's not for you to do. It's for you to control your next step. And this is why when it comes to our intuition only gives you the next thing. It doesn't give you the next 30 to 40 to 50 things. That's not how your intuition works. And it's like that for a reason. Right? Intuition is the built-in GPS system. When you're putting something in the GPS, it's giving you turn-by-turn direction. It's not telling you everything that you need to do in one voice, one swoop, and then just sit back and let you figure it out. No, it's like at the next light, turn right. And then it waits for you to turn right. In 4 miles, merge into your left lane. And it's going to wait for you to go 4 miles and merge into the next damn lane. It's not going to give you every single direction at one time and then just shut up. That's not how that works. And it don't work like that for a reason. Right? Life does not work like that for a reason. And it goes back to understanding that we are here to experience and not control. If you're here trying to control, you're going to fuck up every time. You're going to get annoyed every time. You're going to find yourself hitting a wall every time. Because what are you doing? You're supposed to be experiencing. That's why it takes time to get to the next destination, right? It's like a road trip. The thing about a road trip that makes it what it is the time in between the destinations, right? You're not hopping on a flight because a flight just takes you from A to B. There is no scenic route. You're not really looking and seeing mountains. You just see a blank ass sky. If it's light outside, you might see some clouds. If it's rainy, you might see some rain. You know what I'm saying? It's not that much to see. But a road trip is different because we're enjoying the process of getting to the next thing. Whether that means we got to sit in a little bit of traffic, whether that means we come up on some mountains, whether that means we go across a couple bridges, whether that means we see some flowers or some corn or whatever on the side of the road. You might see a little horse or a little cow depending on where you're going, you know what I'm saying? You might be in the mountains and see a little snow. It's scenic. And that's what life is. Life is a scenic route. So when you try to skip from one thing to the next without enjoying what's happening, without enjoying the process, that's when it becomes this fuddled mess. And you get annoyed and you anxious and you all over the place, and then you taking the wrong routes and you're taking the wrong turns and you ending up in the middle of West Bubblefuck with no direction because you're doing too much, right? Worry about the very next step. That's it. If you spend your days worrying about the very next step, you will be fine. And of course, it's not something easy to do when you have been used to living your life in a state of worry. But this is why we go back to childhood trauma. Because you was taught that. Your environment taught you to be in a constant state of worry. If you grew up in a house with money issues, if you grew up in a house where you ain't eat all the time that you needed to eat, if you grew up in a house where you had to watch your back all the time and you couldn't just be a child and you had to be on self-preservation protection mode, you know what I'm saying? All of these things kind of force you to become an adult who still acts in that nature just from an adult's perspective. You know what I'm saying? So now instead of you being worried about your next meal as a kid, you worry about your next meal as an adult. You worry about your next paycheck. You worry about how you're going to do this and how you're going to pay that and how you're going to get this bill and how that's going to happen and how this going to happen. Nigga, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? I mean, you waking up stressed. You ain't even got to crust out your eyes yet and you already in an anxious ass energy, and you think that the day is going to develop the way it's supposed to? How? You think that you're going to be connected with the things that are for you to connect with? How? You think positive energy is going to find you? How? You're starting the day off with a mind full of worry. You went to sleep worried, you're waking up worried. And then you go through your day worrying. And then you do it all over again the next day. That's not a good life to live, babe. That's depressing as hell. Which is why a lot of y'all are depressed or anxious. Right? So it's a process. It's not going to be easy. Right? You're not just going to wake up tomorrow and everything's going to be hunky-dory. That's not going to happen. But you do have to make a conscious effort to start shifting your mentality. Like I said before, thoughts become feelings. Feelings become actions. How you think is how you feel. How you feel is how you act. So if I wake up thinking horribly, I'm going to feel horrible. And then my day is going to be fucked up because I'm going to act out of that horrible ass energy. That's why people wake up and they have shitty ass days from the time they leave the house to the time they get back home. Because your energy dictates how your reality is going to, unveil itself for the day. And if you do that back to back, 5 days a week, what you think is going to happen? Now your whole month fucked up. So at some point, you need to figure out, okay, what little changes can I make? Because it's not about changing your whole life in one swoop. That's not going to happen. That's just unrealistic. But what little changes can I make on a day-to-day basis? Even if it's just when I notice I'm in a bad mood, I talk about it, I sort it out, I release it, and then I move on. I'm not holding on to things and carrying it day to day to day to day and then wonder why everything is irritating me. Because my energy, I'm already on edge. I'm already annoyed. I'm already irritated. So now I'm moving throughout this day with this annoyed and irritated ass energy. Instead of sitting in my truth, going back to truth, throat chakra, right? Sitting in my truth, acknowledging my pain, my feelings, my hurt, my fear, whatever it is, and doing something about it. Processing it. Asking yourself questions. The best thing you can do is ask yourself questions. Why do I feel fucked up today? I'm saying, why am I stressed? What is on my mind? What am I worried about? Why am I worried about that? Who taught me to worry about that? Where did I see that happening in my childhood? What part of my childhood reflects how I'm feeling right now? Who in my childhood can I accredit these feelings to? What demonstration did I have? An example that has me feeling the way that I feel. Start asking yourself questions. Y'all don't talk to yourselves enough. People be thinking I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because I will talk to myself so quick. So quick. No headphones. Just raw dogging it. Just whole conversations. Not giving out one fuck. I used to be scared and put a headphone in so people think I'm on the phone or something. Now I don't give a shit. You could think I'm crazy. I don't care. Me and me need to have a conversation real fast. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Especially don't catch me in the house alone. You won't think it's about 14 people in there. It's just me. I don't give a damn. You have to learn to comfort yourself, to be there for yourself, to show up for yourself, because you're the only person that has all the answers. And sometimes you can become too emotionally codependent on other people, right? You don't sort through certain issues or address certain problems unless you talk about it with somebody else, or unless somebody else bring it up, or unless somebody else says something, or unless somebody asks you, how do you feel? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Right? Then you want to sit there and talk about it. No, have that conversation with yourself. Whether you're verbally doing it, whether you're more comfortable pulling out a notebook and writing it down. Some people like to write rather than talk. I like to talk. I'm a Gemini, throat chakra all the way active. I'm going to have a whole ass conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have a whole conversation from start to finish, detail for detail. It is what it is. I don't give a damn. And by the time I finish that conversation, I promise you, whatever needs to be solved and worked out will be. Whatever needs to be figured out will be figured out. You know what I'm saying? Well, whatever answers I need, I bet you I have them by the time I end that conversation with me. Because you have all of the answers within yourself. That's why meditation is so important. And meditation can be communicating to yourself. That is a form of meditation. Talking to yourself, that's a form of meditation. And it's also a form of release, right? I tell all of my clients, you should have some type of daily release ritual. That means every single day, there should be something that you're doing to release the day that don't include another person. Because everybody's not always going to be there. People got their own problems. It's selfish of you to hold your problems for the next person. That don't mean that you can't sometimes, have a shoulder to cry on. That's not what I'm saying, right? But for the most part, you need to be good with handling your own shit. Every day, some type of release method. Whether you're talking to yourself, whether you journal it, whether you, whatever. Record yourself talking about it. I don't give a damn. Okay? Take a bath, relax, take a long shower, you know what I'm saying? Kick your feet up, listen to some jazz, some high vibrational music or something. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Yes. Taking a shower, taking a bath, all of those things are ways to release. And while you're in there, don't just be in there just sitting and shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't just do that. But talk. You know what I'm saying? Wash off the day and literally speak about it while you're doing it. And do it with a sense of gratitude. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm releasing that bullshit ass thing that my coworker said and blah, 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 blah. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm no longer thinking about the argument that I had earlier at work or earlier with my cousin or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about it. Be conscious in what you're doing. You are very, very powerful. We are very powerful. The tongue holds a lot of power, and intentions are everything. So when you're speaking about what you want to happen and what you're grateful for happening, and you're also putting the intention and the action behind it, that's a perfect recipe. If you smoke, you can smoke, but don't get dependent on that. You know what I'm saying? That can be one of your methods sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Tea time. Make you some herbal tea, something that's beneficial to you, so that if you make a habit out of it, it's not something that can be detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Make you some tea at night. And, while you're making your tea, while you're drinking it, you could just talk about the things you're grateful for. Talk about your day. You know what I'm saying? Go over the different things that, you want to leave in that day. Because you have the power to do that. Like, I'm not taking this shit with me into tomorrow. I refuse. You know what I'm saying? This specific situation, I'm leaving that shit right here on January 8th, 2025. I had to make sure that was the right date. But yeah, that shit's not coming with me January 9th. Fuck that. I release it here. It stays here. You know what I'm saying? And when you follow your intuition, there can be numerous of different ways that you approach that type of thing. It doesn't look the same for everybody. Some people do burn letters. They write out everything that they want to let go of for that day, and then they burn that shit. That shit feels so good. I tell everybody about burn letters. When I first, started taking my spiritual journey more seriously, that method right there, obsessed. Number one, I like fire. I like to see shit burn. It's just something about it. It feels good. It's amazing. Okay, it's something about watching the things that you no longer want, no longer need, the things that no longer serve you, burn. It's such a good feeling, okay? Especially if you like fire like me. I don't know. It's amazing, right? But there's other ways to do it. This is why we go back to intuition. Your intuition is not only for telling you things to do when it comes to your next steps for your future and how to make this happen, how to make that happen. It also will tell you exactly how to release something, exactly how to let go of something, exactly how to turn a specific area of your life in the right direction. You know, how to go about healing something. You know what I'm saying? Your intuition covers everything. So if you're not building that relationship with self and tapping in with self so that you can get and strengthen that bond, you're doing yourself a disservice. And this is why you see a lot of people trying a lot of shit that don't work for them. They done did 15 different rituals and nothing has happened because there's a piece missing, and that's you. You are the missing piece. That relationship you have with yourself is the missing piece for you getting what you need out of the situation. All right, let's take it a little further and get some tarot here. Again, this will be posted on YouTube. Let me put my YouTube and my website in the comments. So you guys can watch it from the beginning. That is my YouTube and my website. All right. Ooh. This is going back to when I said expect the unexpected. 5 of Pentacles. I feel like some of you guys could also definitely get some type of help. I feel like there's a lot of unexpected help coming to a lot more of you guys. Like, in ways that you didn't see. You know what I'm saying? In ways that you didn't see. And it can come in so many different ways and pertain to so many different areas of your life. It can be help with, you know, your personal life. It can be help with certain situations that you're dealing with. It can be help with you getting your career off the ground. It can be help with you, you know, going to school or getting an apartment or getting a car. I mean, it can show up in a lot of different ways, but I feel like there's a lot of things that you do not see, which is another reason why Spirit wants you to trust your intuition. Because you need to be guided towards this thing while this thing is being guided towards you. Right? We talked about divine timing and divine alignment yesterday. Divine timing means I'm moving and it's moving and we meet in the middle. Divine alignment means I'm moving and it's moving and we meet in the middle. Right? So a part of you receiving what you need is also you getting off your ass and moving your feet. You know what I'm saying? You can't just sit back and think that this shit is going to show up at your doorstep and come in and you invite them in for some tea. No, babe, you got to put some work in. And it don't mean that you got to work yourself crazy. Because I feel like that's another thing a lot of us are kind of moving out of, is this super hustler mentality where we just work ourselves crazy. You know what I'm saying? And dedicate our whole life to just being a workaholic. Like, no. You can be a hard worker and still not do a whole lot of extra shit. Right? Working smarter and not harder. Literally. You know what I'm saying? Listening to your intuition is working smarter. There still may be some challenging things that you have to do. But the course that you're on, the path that you're on, is a smarter way to getting there. Right? So it can be the difference, and this is just an example, but it can be the difference between somebody who may sacrifice time building a business and, you know, working that business from the ground up and learning all of the intricacies of that business versus somebody who just go to school and learn about building the business and then they get out and they don't know what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe spirit sent you in a different direction. Like for me, for example, I didn't go to college for business. I didn't go to college for shit. I wasn't paying them people that money. I don't do that. Okay? I, that's just not my cup of tea. No tea, no shade. You know what I'm saying? If you went, you went. And that's good. But I don't do that. But I've had a business since I was 18. And, I was pushed in that direction. It was for me to have multiple different businesses. I've always been an entrepreneur, but I had multiple different businesses. I started out doing door to door, right? Where I was basically, it was a contract position, right? I was outsourcing, contracting with this company, doing door to door on their behalf, right? And then I went from doing that to selling clothes and shoes and flipping it. So I would purchase like retail priced, wholesale price things, and then sell that shit for a raised price, okay? Or after that, I had a radio show when, what do you call it? Satellite radio first started popping, right? Back in like 2016, 2017, when it started to get more popular, I had a radio show. And then I managed certain people and helped them get certain events. I've always been tied in and connected with certain shit. So I would help people, like if they're a poet, I would help them get certain gigs. If they was a singer, I would plug them up with other people and they would pay me a little fee. I've done so much shit. I've worked at retail stores. I've done so many different things, right? And all of those different things taught me something that I needed, that I use to this day in this realm of business, right? Versus somebody who may have had a different path than me. So you go through what you go through for a reason. You're led to what you're led to for a reason. All of those things I was intuitively guided to do, right? I was an elementary school teacher for 2 years. I had never went to college. How did I end up being an elementary school teacher? I followed my intuition. That's how. I talked to the people that I was supposed to talk to. And they got me the access that I needed to do what I needed to do. And then they trained me, and I learned fast. So I was able to learn and do what I needed to do. And show up and teach them kids. Right? And then when it was time for me to leave there, I left. So everywhere... Don't try to, plant your flag everywhere you go. Because sometimes you're just there for a moment, for you to learn something, for you to get something, for you to retain some type of information, for you to learn a skill, right? Maybe you being here temporarily is going to give you all the knowledge that you would get if you was to take a course or a class, but you learn it hands-on. Right? Maybe you are going through something, or you're supposed to be somewhere temporarily so that you can be challenged in the right ways, so that when you finally get to where you're supposed to be, you have all of the knowledge and wisdom that you need to make it work. You know what I'm saying? And to show up the way that you're supposed to show up. So don't despise small beginnings. I've been saying that all week, and that's one of my favorite quotes that my grandmama say all the time, right? Don't despise small beginnings. Don't look at it as like, oh, this isn't as big as I see it, or I don't, quite see the end goal of all of this. Because you may be led to certain things that you can't see the end goal. You don't know how it's going to work out. You don't know how it's going to translate. You don't really know the exact outcome, but you feel led towards it. And sometimes that can be confusing, because we feel like if I'm led towards it, I should have all of the damn answers. You know what I'm saying? I should know everything that comes with it. It's like, no, you shouldn't. That would take the experience out of the experience. Again, we're here to experience, not control. If you knew everything, it would suck. It would truly suck if you knew every single thing that was going to happen, when it was going to happen, exactly how it was going to happen. It's an amazing feeling when you have unexpected success. It's an amazing feeling when things start to turn in your favor in ways that you couldn't see coming. It's an amazing feeling when opportunities seem like they just found you out of nowhere and they're perfect for you. That's an amazing feeling. But if you've seen all that shit coming, it takes all of that out of it. Right? I tell y'all this and use this example all the time. If somebody planned me a surprise party and right before I walk in, they're like, hey, just so you know, it's a surprise party. Surprise. When I walk in the damn party and everybody jump out surprised, I'm not going to be damn surprised. Right? If somebody plans to propose to me and my friend like, hey, girl, just so you know what I'm saying, your man is setting up your proposal for next Friday. So make sure you look cute. Girl, what? Did you just spill the beans? It takes the whole surprise out of it. It takes the whole experience away from you. Right? So sometimes being left in the dark is so that you don't know what's coming for a reason. So you can enjoy it. Okay? So don't always look to have all of the answers and to know all of the outcomes and all of that. It takes the joy out of it. I'd rather somebody surprise me with something than tell me every single time. Like, god damn. That's like Christmas. You know what I'm saying? What the hell is the point of wrapping all the gifts when you can just lay that shit out? My mama used to do that shit. She ain't wrap a damn gift. We would walk in the living room and all our shit just be laid out on the couch. Literally like a display. Like it's a fucking store in a mall. You can see everything in one swoop. Ain't no going through the wrapping paper and, oh my God, I hope this is what I want. No, it's there. She wasn't wrapping a damn thing. She would lay it out nice and neat. And we had our own little stations. My brother's shit over there. The other brother's shit over there. My shit over there. You just walk in and find your spot. And just look through it real quick. But I would love going to my grandmother's house or to my dad's house because it would be in boxes. And they have wrapping paper. And you get to see a big box and a little box and a really small box and then another big box and then a medium-sized box and then this size box. And you're like, oh my God, what is it? I don't know what it is. And there's so much excitement in not knowing what it is. Because when you finally start to open those boxes and you see what's in there, it's a whole different feeling than just walking in and it just being the box. Laid out, obvious as hell. Right? Same thing with this year. A lot of the things are coming wrapped up. It's wrapped up with a little bow on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's your job to stick with it and to follow your intuition so that you can open that bad boy up and get whatever is in there for you. Not for you to, try to get answers and have somebody tell you what's in that. Like, no, experience it. Go through it. Okay? Got the Queen of Swords. All right? I just started hearing Neo, Miss Independent. She got her own thing, that's why I love her. I started hearing that immediately as that card fell on this table, okay? So this is giving very, very independent. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be in a different level of independence, and it's not going to be toxic independence. Some of y'all are toxically independent. It's like you're independent because either you're trying to prove a point or you're independent because you don't trust nobody or you're independent because you had some type of toxic experience in your past that kind of puts you in this environment where I got to do it all by myself. I don't have nobody type of thing. You know what I'm saying? This isn't toxic independence. This is like when I need help, I get help. When I do it on my own, I do it on my own. But I'm still the one standing in my truth, being responsible and being accountable and making it happen. Nobody is necessarily making it happen for me. But if people are supposed to help me get there, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? It still makes you independent. It's not like they're doing the work for you. Nobody can do the work for you. That's just not going to happen. Nobody can do the work for you. But if they come in and they can give you a little assistance, you know what I'm saying? They can give you a little help. They can give you a little inspiration. They can give you a little advice or whatever. Take it. Go with it. Okay? But I see a lot of you guys standing confidently in your own energy. Confidently in your own energy. Doing whatever you feel guided to do. Unapologetically. Being unique. Showing up very unique. But very true to self. You know what I'm saying? Some people try to be unique. And you shouldn't be trying to be unique. It should just be you being you, right? And because you're being you and we're all different, you show up as a unique person. Some people just try. You ever met somebody that just do shit different just so they can be like, I'm different? That's not the energy we're talking about. We're talking about following your intuition, being led, being guided, doing what feels organic and unique to you, and having, success because of that, right? Because you're moving in whatever energy is for you to move in. Not out here trying to force something. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing that. I also feel like a lot of you need to make sure when it comes to toxic femininity that you are clearing your space, okay? Not saying that masculines cannot be toxic, because they absolutely can. But there's just a different level of toxicity when it comes from a woman. It's a different sting. Men don't really possess that sting that a woman possesses, right? A woman's opinion, the way that they say things, their energy, you know what I'm saying? They can be nasty, they can be nice, they can be horrible, they can be amazing. It's just like, you need to make sure whatever feminine energies you have around you, and even your own feminine energy, is up to par. Don't have no negativity, negative people, negative voices, okay? That nice, nasty type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Be very, very cautious. Because I heard Wicked Witch of the West, specifically. Ooh, we got the Emperor coming out. I keep thinking about, immediately when that card came out, I started hearing Kendrick Lamar, Be Humble. But if you ever listen to the song, it's not about being humble. At all. It's actually about, like, I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? You be humble. And you sit down. The fuck? Specifically, I'm seeing the music video where he's like in the middle of a whole bunch of men, and all the men are bald, and they all have like black outfits on or something, I think, and he's the only one with like a white outfit, and he has his locks, and of course he's obviously not bald. And it's just standing out, right? And I feel like, I don't like the word humble, because I feel like that just is said so that other people can feel good about themselves. And I don't really like that. I don't believe in being cocky. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in being conceited. But I do think that you should be, in a lot of ways, full of yourself. Because if you're not, who's going to do it? If I don't think I'm the best, who's going to think that I'm the best? If I don't think that I'm amazing, who's going to think that I'm amazing? You know what I'm saying? If I don't think that I'm the smartest, finest, most luscious, who's going to think those things of me? It's my responsibility to put myself in an energy where I feel good about me, because there's a lot of people who don't see me in that light. And if I start to allow other people to tell me how I should see me, I'm messing up, right? There's no possible way that that's leading to anything beneficial for me. So I don't think that this is a year for you to be humble. I think you should talk your shit. I think you should do your shit. I think you should push it to the limit. I think that you should promote the hell out of yourself. I think that you should be almost like a person with a bullhorn. You know what I'm saying? Just like your own paparazzi. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really full of yourself, but in a very positive way. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with like me being full of myself doesn't mean that I'm gonna go around other people and be like, yeah, you ain't shit. I'm better than you. Like, no. I'm not gonna go say I'm better than you. I'm just gonna say I'm the best. That's a me thing. You should feel like you the best too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that you ugly. I'm just gonna say I'm the cutest. I'm the most good looking. You should feel the same way about you. Right? So I don't think that this is a year where you should take a back seat when it comes to promoting yourself, when it comes to how people would say gloating. You know what I'm saying? I feel like all those words were made by people who didn't believe in themselves and wanted to feel better. You know what I'm saying? Wanted to pretend that their feelings were hurt or something. I don't fucking know. Fuck all of that. Ain't no being humble, being confident, being secure in your own energy, knowing who you are. That's that on that. Okay? Standing in your truth, standing in your power. And also, you know, holding yourself accountable is a powerful thing as well. It don't just mean I think I'm the best, so I'm just going to do whatever I want to do and treat people however I want to treat people. No. There's still a level of accountability that comes with it, right? So even with me knowing who I am and flowing in whatever way I'm supposed to flow, I'm still going to hold myself accountable for whatever mistakes I make, or if I got the wrong tone, if I do the wrong things, or if I need to take a new direction. I'm still going to be accountable. I'm still going to be self-aware, right? But I also know that I'm the best. I also know that I'm the shit. I also know I'm the smartest, the most intelligent, the most beautiful, the most gorgeous, the most talented, the most gifted, the most successful. I also know all of that, right? My cup runneth over. Very much so. Yeah. Knight of Wands energy. I still got work to do. You know what I'm saying? The knight is not the king, which means I haven't arrived. You know, I'm not saying that I've arrived and I'm exactly where I want to be. No. But I still know who I am. I'm still confident. Right? I still can operate in confidence. I still can move within a certain energy and carry myself within a certain way. Period. Let me type it in the comments for you, love. Excuse me. All right, let's get a couple more, and then we're going to close out with some messages for each element. We got this card yesterday, the High Priestess. All right, wisdom, operating wisdom. Like I said yesterday, a lot of y'all have learned too much to go throughout this year with the same energy that you had last year. And you're going to have a different set of eyes on you. 7 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You're going to have a different set of eyes on you than you did last year. You're going to have more people watching you, looking at you, consulting with you, whatever, booking with you, whatever it is, okay? There's going to be more attention being brought your way. And some of y'all ask for this attention, depending on what it is that you do or what it is that you're trying to do. So use it wisely. If I know that I have more people looking at me or whatever, I'm going to make sure that I'm really acting in a way that speaks volumes. I'm going to make sure that I'm moving properly and talking properly and walking properly to the best of my ability. Of course, perfection does not exist. We don't believe in perfection. But at the same time, I'm going to do my very best to show up in the best way that I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be mediocre this year. This is not a year to be mediocre, to do the bare minimum. We're not doing that just to get by type of shit. You did that already. We're not doing that. Pedal to the metal, foot on the gas. Doing 100 on the highway. That's what we're doing this year. Let's get 2 more. Page of Pentacles. Definitely some unexpected opportunities when it comes to income, when it comes to money. Some of you guys may be getting some type of inheritance as well. This is going to be a great year for inheritance. Now, let me just say this with inheritance. Inheritance don't always come with a bow on it in a good way. Sometimes things have to happen in order for you to inherit certain things. So I just want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? You can't have your grandma's house. You can't inherit that house if she's still living there. Sometimes things have to happen. Okay? I know I always give y'all words of caution with certain things. It doesn't mean that that's going to be the way you get yours. It just means I want you to be prepared. Okay? Inheritance sometimes requires other things. You follow? That light just got brighter. I don't know what happened, but it just felt super bright just now. Anywho, I definitely feel like inheritance can be coming to a lot of you guys. This could also be spiritual inheritance as well. So it may not just be, because we got 2 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You may have some options here. It may not just be with like, you know, you get your granny house or somebody insurance money or something like that, or some land. It could be inheriting some gifts, some wisdom, some knowledge, something along those lines as well. Okay? It's not black and white. And everybody won't necessarily get inheritance. That's just for the people that it's for. And you only know if it's for you if it happens. Okay? All right. Let's get into a couple messages for each element. And then we're going to close out with some confirmation. Again, if you need to book any personal services, personal readings, mentorships, consultations, astrology services, any of those things, my website is there in the comments. They don't ever let me pin my website, but yeah. They're in the comments. All right, we're going to start with our fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sag. We'll get 2 cards for each. What do my fire signs need to know at this time? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Any messages for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Make sure y'all hit those likes and share this video with anyone who you feel like can use these messages. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, that's one. Let's get one more. Too many. Let's get one more card. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What do they need to know at this time? Alright, so you guys have the Moon and the Truth card coming out. What are y'all not saying? I feel like this can go 2 ways. I feel like either there's something here dealing with emotions, because we also got Cancer at the bottom of the deck. Even though Cancer is a fire sign, we're talking about the emotions, emotional energy of Cancer. There's either some emotions or something that y'all not sharing, something that you feel, something that you've been thinking about, something that you're holding in or have been holding in that you're not being truthful about, or some of y'all got something cooking behind closed doors that you're not speaking on. I like the second option, honestly, if I had to choose. Don't be in a rush to share anything that you may be cooking up or anything that you have that you're working on or anything like that. Mainly for, you know, my fire signs, because that's the energy that's coming out, but just in general for everybody. This is not a year to tell everybody your every move. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to cook up things behind closed doors and then when they're ready to reveal it, right? But I feel like for my fire signs, there's some things that you guys are working on behind closed doors. Maybe some ideas that you have that you're about to take to the next level, or some direction, a specific direction that you're going into, or something along those lines, okay? But I also feel like this could also be some, for others, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I also feel like there could be some emotions, some feelings, some things that's been eating away at you guys that it's time for you to tell the truth about. It's time for you to open up about these things, okay? Whether this has something to do with a specific person, whether this is just something that is your truth, whatever it is, don't torture yourself with trying to keep your emotions concealed. I feel like some of you guys may be a little hesitant with sharing how you feel, maybe because of how the things you feel have been received in the past. So the way that people may have received your feelings or treated you when you shared how you feel in the past, it's kind of made you a little jaded about being as open as you should be, okay? But when it comes to your emotions, it's not about what people think about how you feel. It's about you being 100% about how you feel. Let them deal with it however they deal with it. As long as you get it off your chest and you do what you're supposed to do, which is releasing it, okay? That's your only responsibility. The rest will happen when it's time to happen, right? I'm hearing don't continuously go to bed with so much on your heart. All right, earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What do they need to know at this time? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's get one more. No, that's too many. One more. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What do they need to know? Of course. Of course, one of your cards is Earth. All right, Earth signs. You guys have the High Priestess and you have Earth energy, okay? Okay, Earth signs. I'm hearing y'all gotta practice what y'all preach. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Y'all gotta practice what y'all preach. Y'all remind me of like the older sibling type of sign. That's like really y'all energy for real. Like it gives like older sibling by like some years type of energy, where you know you've experienced certain things, you've gone through certain things, you know certain things, right? And you can easily give advice. You can easily tell people, hey, you should do this, this, and that. You should stop doing this, this, and that. You should change this and change that and alter this and alter that and blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to your life, especially recently, or this could be regarding a specific situation, you're not even taking your own advice. And your life is kind of reflecting that. You're not getting certain results that you want to get. And y'all know earth signs, y'all love to plan. Everything is planned out. So y'all have a very vivid picture of how you think shit should go in your life. And it's not going that way right now. It's not working the way that you pictured it. And a lot of it is because you're not taking your own advice. Some of it has to do with releasing control, not being so controlling, like we were talking about before, allowing things to naturally unfold. But then another part of it is you're not doing what you know you're supposed to do. Y'all are very wise. Y'all are too wise to be in some of the situations that you find yourself in. Earth signs. Especially if it has something to do with a lesson that you've learned already or something that you already know. You know what I'm saying? I also feel like for my earth signs, y'all really have to prioritize peace right now. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, if it's not bringing you peace, if it's not helping you feel more at peace, you don't need it right now. You don't need it at all, if we're being honest. Sometimes y'all can get a little complacent. You know what I'm saying? Get a little comfortable in whatever you have. Sometimes y'all don't really like change. Not sporadic change. Y'all like change when you feel like changing. You know what I'm saying? But that's not always how it is. Sometimes you gotta be quick on your feet. Sometimes you gotta move with the flow and, you know, do whatever is necessary. So being more flexible and taking your own advice. You know what to do. So it's time to fucking do it. Alright? Air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Geminis, Libras, Aquarius. What is the energy here for them? Let's get one more. You're welcome, babe. One more. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Y'all, I'm so hungry. I'm sitting here shuffling, but all I can think about is food and what I'm gonna eat. All right, let's get one card. Good Lord. Thank you. Shit. All right, air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You guys have Temperance. And then you also have, no matter what happens outside of myself, I know that I am safe, okay? Balance. Balance is required, air signs. Balance is required. There's a need to balance intuition and confidence. And you may be like, what the fuck are you talking about? A lot of times our intuition will tell us to do certain things that we are not 100% confident in. And sometimes we're confident in certain things that our intuition ain't tell us to do. So it's really finding that happy medium where you're confident enough in yourself to know that whatever your intuition leads you to, guides you to, you will be successful. Okay? Sometimes it's almost like how they say, you know, your eyes was bigger than your stomach type of thing. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that basically saying that you can see something, you can see how big something can be, you can see the potential of something, you can see how it may result, okay, how it may end up, how far you can take it. But then within yourself, within your gut, you can be very afraid, very anxious of that same very thing, right? And I feel like a lot of you guys are having certain experiences, or you will be getting a certain experience that requires you to be confident in your ability to achieve success in this specific area, whatever this is for you, however it shows up for you, okay? And then also balancing mind, body, and soul. Air signs, our energy be all over the place. An air sign could do anything, anywhere, with anybody at a drop of a dime. Just very here, there, and everywhere, right? So balancing out all of those different energies is going to be very important. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Making sure that not only are you investing time into, material things, but you're also investing time into yourself personally, into yourself mentally and emotionally, okay? Not only are you spending money, but you're also saving money. Not only are you building a relationship or connection or partnership or collaboration, but you're also building the relationship, connection, partnership, and collaboration with yourself, okay? There's a need to make sure everything is pretty balanced, and that you are spreading your confidence amongst all of these things, knowing that you can achieve it, okay? Not thinking that you've bitten off more than you can chew, because you can chew it. You just got to take your time to chew it. You just got to slow down a little bit, okay, so that you can properly chew it and digest it so you don't choke. You ever seen a kid, like my goddaughter, when she was like 2 or 3, one of her favorite foods was pizza, okay? That girl would sit there, she can eat pizza. If you let her, she'd eat damn near the whole box, okay? And I'm talking about 2 or 3 years old. She was a little chunky little thing. She loves some pizza. But it's something about kids. They don't always chew all the food. And it used to piss me off because she wouldn't chew it all. And sometimes she'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Because she got all this fucking food in her mouth. And it's like, I know that you can eat it, but you just need to take your time. You know what I'm saying? One bite at a time. Like we were talking about, 1 foot before the other. One bite at a time. So you can achieve the things that you want, air signs. There's enough time in this year for you to get all of your goals accomplished, right? But it's one bite at a time, okay? One bite at a time. It don't need to all happen at once, because air signs a little impatient. You are air, right? So you're used to being everywhere at one time and having everything happen in 2 seconds. No. Right? Especially with this year being one of foundation building. If you ever seen a house where the construction workers who built it didn't take their time and they just did that shit real quick. That's why like a lot of these new age homes, it be so many problems with it, so many issues. Because they got so many homes they got to build, they just be rushing through them bitches. You know what I'm saying? So by the time somebody starts to occupy them, floors falling apart, the stairs is messed up, the doorknobs is on crooked, the hinges is messed up, and all these types of things is going on because it was rushed. So your foundation means more than anything. That's what you should be taking your time getting done, is the foundation. And however long it takes you is however long it takes you, right? Intuition included. But once you get that foundation built, not even the sky's the limit. All right? All right, last but not least, water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancers, Pisces, Scorpio. Let's see. Let's get 2 cards for my water signs. got a little bit of OCD. My cards got to look a certain type of way. Boom. Y'all came out the quickest, I feel like. All right, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpios. You are the messenger, speak your truth, and you have justice, okay? Y'all's is kind of self-explanatory. You guys hold in a lot of how you feel in order to allow other people to feel good. Water signs. Y'all have a really bad habit of that. You guys take on a lot and 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 take on a lot. And you feel, depleted, and you feel misused, and you feel abused, and you feel manipulated, and you feel wronged, and you feel this, and you feel that. But you're not as quick to speak up about it. You're not as quick to say something. You're not as quick to put your foot down and make certain things known, right? This is not the time to do that. You're going to have to speak on it. Wherever they got you fucked up at, you need to speak on it. And it doesn't have to be in a negative manner. It just needs to be real, and it needs to be truthful. Okay? Truth has come out 3 times in this reading in different areas. Okay? So truth is going to be a huge part, not only just for my water signs, but for the collective, right? But specifically for my water signs, y'all are going to have to stand on business when it comes to how you feel. Don't try to fake it to make it. Don't try to, make everybody else feel comfortable and all of that when you uncomfortable. Don't spare nobody's feelings, because the minute that y'all get overwhelmed and it's too much, then y'all lose your mind and everybody looking at you like you crazy. When you could have been spoke on that. You could have been said something about that, right? When it happened, you speaking on something finally that happened 6 months ago, and you wonder why people looking at you like you got shit on your face. Like, girl, what? That happened so long ago. Why is you bringing that up? It's another reason why people like to discredit your feelings, because it's like it's late to the party. It's like, how am I supposed to sit here and care about something that happened 3 months ago? You know what I'm saying? That should happen in October. We are in January. Why are you just bringing this up? You're going to have to be more on point when it comes to speaking your truth. You're going to have to be more on point when it comes to standing on business with your feelings, with your views, okay? Not allowing people to get away with murder over and over and over and over again. That's not what we're doing. It's not healthy, number one. And you can't really be mad at the people for not receiving it when you didn't go about it the right way. Okay? It shouldn't be like a teapot where you just collect all of this steam to the point that you blow your top. That's not healthy for you. That's not healthy for them. That doesn't solve anything. Now everybody arguing. Now everybody mad. Now it's a back and forth. Now nobody's being heard. Nothing's being understood. It's all over the place. Okay? So make sure that from this moment on, that you're being very truthful with the way that you feel. And you'll receive the proper justice for standing on business when it comes to your feelings and your emotions. Okay? We determine and dictate what our next moments are with the way that we act in the present moment. So if in the present moment I am allowing people to walk all over me, manipulate me, use me, abuse me, whatever, then my next moments aren't going to be filled with love and light and happiness and peace and sunflowers and sunshine. That just don't make sense, right? So at some point, you're going to have to maybe sacrifice feeling good in the moment so that you can feel good in the future. Being more future-minded. Okay, if I deal with this now, maybe I can find a solution, and then by the time the future comes, I'm straight, I'm good. Whether that means I got to leave this person in the past, whether that means that we find some type of way to reconcile, whatever it means, I'm going to be in a better off position because I spoke on what I needed to speak on. I did what I needed to do. I said what I needed to say. And don't say it in no nasty ass attitude or in a mean way You know what I'm saying? Kind of think about it like if somebody was to say this to me, how would I receive it? I had to learn that as a Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to just say whatever. It could be right, but it would come out very, very crazy. You know what I'm saying? I had to start thinking about it. Like, do I care about my message being received? Or do I care about satisfying my feelings in the moment and just saying whatever the hell is on my mind, however I want to say it? Like, no, I'd rather my message be received. So if that means I need to take a couple extra minutes to think this shit through so that I can pass along the message in a proper way, that's what I have to do. All right? All right, my lovelies. Love and light to everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the follows on here. Make sure you also subscribe on YouTube. If you do need to book any services, my website is in the comments. I do have payment plans at checkout on my website. I was been supposed to have added Apple Pay. Not Apple Pay. I got Apple Pay. Afterpay. And I keep forgetting to do it. So I'll do that either sometime tonight or this week for those who use Afterpay. But there is another payment type option at checkout for those who are interested in that. If you cannot get approved for that payment option, just feel free to shoot me an email or inbox. I work with all of my clients, so if it's something that I can work with you with, I will. Just let me know. Communication. Closed mouths don't get fed. All right? I'll be back on here around the same time, between 3 and 4-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you tune in. Again, I'll be going live from this page and this page only for a while. So don't look for me on my other page. Make sure that you're following here. Make sure your notifications are on. Yeah, so that you know when I'm live. All right. This the replay will be posted on YouTube tomorrow. It'll be uploaded tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you are subscribed over there as well. So that you can watch the replay when it is posted. All replays will be posted there, so anytime you miss the live, you can go there. All right. Also, like I said before, I will now be doing a few hours on live on Sundays. So make sure that you guys tune in on Sundays as well. I know a lot of y'all work throughout the week, so I wanted to make sure that I did at least one day on the weekend for y'all to kind of catch up, okay? And try to catch a laugh, all right? Other than that, light and love. I will see your beautiful faces tomorrow, and you will see mine. Be safe. Take these messages into consideration if they resonated for you. Take whatever necessary steps you need to in order to apply these messages to your life to get the results that are for you to get. And be safe. Have a good night. Peace.